sure if I'm pleased with my angle. I mean, that's a pretty good angle. I guess it's the angle we're going to have to work with. Hello, Chip. Good morning to you. Still haven't figured out the live on Instagram and how it compares. It's very similar, but there was a feature on the other social media platform I was using that I enjoyed where you could slide it over and go up and down. I wonder if you can. I'm worried if I start playing with the screen, I don't know, something will change and I won't be able to fix it. And once you start a live broadcast, you don't want to change things and for the worst or for the worse and not be able to fix it. You know what I mean? Good morning, Peppy. Good morning, Sweet Tea. What a nice name. What a nice name. I don't know that I've actually ever had a glass of sweet tea. And I'm not talking like, well, maybe I am. But it's just in the South, I know, they take their sweet tea very seriously. And I don't know if it has to be prepared a special way or if you can just put a glass of iced tea and stir some sugar in it. Almost think it has to be prepared a special way, but what do I know? Hello from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. I hear there's some very tall buildings in Kuala Lumpur. Am I right? I'm not sure that I am, but I think it's got is that where they have those twin buildings with the bridge across? I think so. I could be wrong. Hello from Indonesia. Wow. Just posted a video yesterday about how moving to Instagram and YouTube and TikTok was bringing me a broader, more global audience. And I'm seeing the results already. Because originally I started doing this show over on Facebook. And I think that it works different on Facebook. I think I don't know, if you post a video, your friends are seeing it. Like your literal friends or the people you went to high school with, or sometimes you'll get connected to people in your local town or whatever. Whereas when you're on like TikTok or Instagram or even YouTube, it's kind of sending your video or your message out to the world. Good morning, my bald brother from Brunswick, Canada. Okay, yeah, the tallest twin towers are there. Is anybody watching from the United States? But anyway, good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. It is Monday morning. It is April 15th. It's tax day here in the States. And it is about 6:51 a.m. Happy Monday. This is a show I've been doing for quite some time. It's a show about me talking. Hello from Texas. Show about me sharing some feelings, sharing some ups and downs we have in life. But most importantly, for those that have been watching a while, you know it's also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, I don't have enough room for it betwixt and between the camera and me. If I put it there, it's going to look massive. Looks like a swimming pool. I can, whoosh, or at least a hot tub. Hey, look at me. I'm in my hot tub. I don't know if that joke's funny or not, but I thought it was pretty funny. And if it really looked like me in the cup, I don't know. But that's what I think in the morning. And it's really funny doing this show because you're waking up and you're just groggy. And I've been up for all of 10 minutes. And you're walking around and you're hearing your baby kind of cry. And you're looking at stuff going on in the kitchen. And you're dealing with real world issues. I mean, with life. And then you pop on live and you're laughing and you're talking to somebody from Texas or Canada or Kuala Lumpur or Indonesia or all sorts of places. But anyway, back to this. I sometimes get distracted. And so bear with me if I do. But like I was saying, for those that have been watching a while, you know, it is also a show about sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, I have a nice hot cup of coffee in front of me, and I am so excited to have my first sip at this fairly early hour on this Monday morning. My hope is wherever you are and whatever you're doing, that you got a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. I'd prefer it to be a degree or two hotter. A degree or two hotter would be perfect. But, I mean, it's still probably perfect. I like to take a sip of coffee and almost burn myself. I don't know why, but I do. It is the Starbucks Sumatra, and it's delicious. Again, I had a bag of the Dunkin' Donuts French Vanilla, and I had a bag of the Starbucks Sumatra, and I said, let's go with the good stuff today. So let's have another sip. Woke up this morning a couple times during the night. Woke up, I don't know, about an hour and a half ago. It was 4:15. Heard some noises in the house. Wasn't sure what was going on. Looked at my phone for a minute and wondered if I was going to be able to go back to sleep or not. Popped on some positive affirmations, and I don't know. I talk a lot about anxiety and mental health on this show. Find some positive affirmations that make you feel a little better, and they'll bring an overactive mind to peace. And they brought this overactive mind to peace this morning. And again, I was able to drift off for another hour or so. And even an extra hour means a lot sometimes. The other day I woke up a little earlier than I wanted and was walking around my house and sitting on the chair and feeling like your brain was on dim, and found some time to hop upstairs and take a quick nap, and felt a little better because sleep's really important. And I think a lot of us take it for granted and sacrifice it for a good time the night before, or what have you. And, maybe you can do it a day or two, but I think some people make a lifestyle of it, and that's not a good lifestyle. Hello, King Rohan. How are you? Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for tuning in. But anyway, when I woke up this morning, last couple of days, I woke up and I was in such a peaceful place mentally and feeling so comfortable, and for some reason was feeling a little anxious this morning. And again, I think there was just a little more activity in the house at this early hour than I'm used to. Heard my baby kind of whining a little bit, and he was up a little later than he should have been last night. So I'm hoping he can get back to sleep. My oldest stepson was up early this morning and was walking around the house getting ready to go to school. I was going, boy, he doesn't have to catch the bus for another hour and change. He either gets up really early or last minute, and it confuses the heck out of me. It's interesting how different people are, and living with different people or different families or what have you, like I do, sometimes can be a shock to the system. And I know it goes both ways. It's not just a shock to my system. I know I'm probably a lot to take and bring a lot of me, whatever that means. And sometimes I feel like a alien because I don't know, things work differently here than I would expect. But yeah, so let's drink a little more coffee. Hello, Melgo. Did you catch the live broadcast of church yesterday? I did not. Again, I have a viewer of the top down that's apparently from my town, Melgo67. And apparently she does I like to go to church on Sunday at a church called the Yellow Box Community Christian Church. It's a good way to start my Sunday. And she suggested I do because I wasn't able to make it yesterday, the virtual service and watch it online. But it didn't quite seem the same for me, so I didn't watch it, and maybe I should have. Maybe I should have, because I still miss it in any form. And the pastor always has a real good message, and he seems like a really nice man. And he's only been at the church for, I don't know, maybe 10 months or so. But he's funny, and he's kind, and seems like a nice man. And hearing his, I think I do enjoy the service maybe more than I say on this show. I often will say I go because it's a lot of people smiling and holding doors open and being kind and looking you in the eye and working on themselves, and that's a good atmosphere to be in, and it is. But I think things happen for a reason. I think a lot of times I'll be struggling with something, person or whatever inside, and it seems whatever the message that the pastor's speaking, oftentimes will fit my need or my struggle or my challenge that I'm facing that day. There's some days where it won't resonate really at all, I'll be honest, where they'll be talking about something and I'll go, well, at least I got to see Gary at the door holding, and my son loved it, and the music was good. But sometimes really the message hits home, and it's nice when it does that, and it kind of ties everything all together. But anyway, it's Monday morning, and it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful day, and I'm excited about my day. It's the start of the new week, and again, I kind of woke on the wrong side of the bed, if you will, this morning, and I've been fortunate through what I've done over the last 5 years with this show, and kind of the therapy I've done, and the praying I've done, and the gratitude I've done, and the positive affirmations I've done. I have a pretty good ability to turn my feelings around, where I remember, most of my life, if I woke up not feeling right, might be a long day or a day that was more of a struggle than it should be. But again, I woke up not feeling that great this morning, and I'm feeling great now, and I'm excited about my coffee, and I'm excited about watching the sunrise, and I'm excited about picking up my little babies and bringing them down and feeding them yogurt and getting my day going, because it's Monday morning and start of a new week, and good opportunity to kind of reset yourself, if you will. You can do it every day. Every day is a new beginning, but sometimes when the calendar flips or even the week changes over, it's a good reminder that this is a new week. Let's get started. Let's start those habits. And I brush on them a lot, but I really think habits are so important. And because it doesn't matter if you go to the gym and you work out 8 hours, if you don't go back for another month, that workout's not going to be meaningless, really. And you're better off ingraining something in your daily routine, whether it's a little gratitude or a workout or a moment of quiet time, or maybe a walk around the neighborhood, or just a little bit of awareness and living in the moment. Doing that for little bits each day and making it part of who you are, and part of your daily routine. Making your bed, shaking a veteran's hand, smiling at your neighbors, smiling at yourself. So yeah. I don't know how much I have for you today. Sometimes I wake with lots of thoughts and lots of things I want to share. Sometimes I say I don't know how much I have for you, and then I'll talk for another 40 minutes. But my show usually runs somewhere between 20 and 45 minutes or so. And I've been doing it for a while, and it's an important part of my day, an important part of my routine. And although, I think I'm fairly decent at engaging with an audience or talking to the phone or what have you, again, I think I was talking to a friend the other day who watches a lot of gardening videos, and she said, wow, she could do this. She could make a better video than this. But it's one thing to have the talent to accomplish something, But I think what's more important is having the determination and the stick-to-itiveness, if you will, to see it through. And one thing I think I've been blessed with is a fair bit of determination to go with whatever talents I may or may not have. And uh, I rely on that a lot. I rely on that a lot. Sometimes I rely on that too much. And again, I talk about it. I was a realtor for 17 years, and I probably stuck to it longer than I should have. I should have said, I don't even like this. First week, I'm out of here. But Ken, you just passed the test and paid all your licensing fees. It's not for me. No, I stuck to it. Oh, did I stick to it? I worked hard. I worked so hard. I mean, I did. I worked harder than you're supposed to, in terms of door knocking and prospecting and shaking hands and wearing name tags and hosting open houses and going to things. I don't know, but at the end of the day, none of it mattered too much. And I think that's when you know in life that it might not be a match, when you put in the determination and you apply your skills, and but it's still not right. I think it takes a different length of time for us to know when things aren't right. I have a lot of people reaching out. I do a lot of videos on sobriety, and people will ask me questions about it and what have you, that they're struggling or they want to quit or they're thinking about quitting or this or that. And I go, I was thinking about quitting for 15 years probably. It took me till I was 53 till I quit. And some things take a little longer for us to get than others. And maybe that's okay. And that's the way it's supposed to be. What did you find that wasn't right with my 17-year career? I was disenchanted with the business. You're talking about real estate. I was disenchanted with it. I thought, and again, before I got into real estate, I was a stockbroker for 10 years, and I was cold calling people every day, and I was sitting down with a stack of, cards in front of me of people's names and just cold calling all day. And that's how I built my business. And I thought I was going to bring some of that salesmanship to real estate. And if you listed your home with me, I was really going to sell the crud out of it and what have you. But in my first week, I learned that everyone said, well, if it's not selling, the price isn't right. And I realized price more than anything by far. Yeah, you got to cut the grass. Yes, you'd want the house to smell nice, and you want all the lights turned on for the showings. But it wasn't the marketing the realtor did that sold the home. And I found that disappointing. So I continued on, still wanting to be the best I could and wanting to help the client the most. And but just slowly over time learned it wasn't about selling houses. The reason I know nobody has newspapers anymore, but if you notice, every real estate ad you'll ever see has the realtor's picture on it, because the pretty home or the beautiful kitchen in the picture is just bait to catch eyes, and for what they're really marketing, what you really end up marketing is yourself selling the home. And at least that was my perspective. I know there's probably realtors on here that might totally disagree with me, but that was certainly my perspective. And it kind of let me down. It was a bummer for me. And again, it wasn't a good match. And I talked about it in a video yesterday. Maybe I'm just not a salesperson, and maybe I just don't want to help guide somebody a little more aggressively. I want to be somebody's friend, and I want to make a difference in the softest way possible. But I don't want to, all these words I'm going to use, except guide, like push or talk somebody into, all have negative connotations. And maybe that's just sales. But again, I kind of realized it in the last few weeks. Maybe I don't like sales, and maybe that's okay. And maybe I'd rather be somebody's friend Uh, uh, yeah. So let's have a little more coffee. But anyway, my coffee's getting cold, and my Monday's about to begin, and my babies are probably ready to be grabbed and pulled down. It's usually the house that sells itself, not the realtor. Is that what you experience? Oh, yeah, it is the house that sells itself. It is the house that sells itself. I'll tell you what. Uh, I think the realtors often talk themselves out of a sale more than anything. If a couple really like the home, I'd go out front and say, hey, I'm going to be out front. Let you guys enjoy experience the home on your own. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll be there. But yeah, I think a lot of realtors more often talk themselves out of a sale than talk themselves into a sale. But either way, no matter what strategy, whether I stayed inside or gave the guided tour, which I never did, or stayed outside and kind of looked at the lawn while the couple experienced it, the house sells itself. And when people are ready to buy, they usually find the right house. And if they're not ready to buy, they're never going to find the right house. And yeah, and it's all okay, but it just wasn't for me. It's all okay, it just wasn't for me. And it's a business that's probably going to keep going despite what people are saying these days. But I do think realtors have a value and do help with the negotiation. And I think somebody will say, oh, they're just middlemen. There's a lot of careers in this world that are just middlemen. And I mean, probably if you really thought about it, probably half the jobs out there are just middlemen. And I think, in a lot of ways, being a realtor was a valuable one. And I think if the buyer was actually talking to the seller half the time, and I think emotions would flare. And I think keeping a less passionate voice in the conversation sometimes would help transactions get done. But anyway, so enough about real estate and enough about coffee with Ken for the morning. But I want to thank you all for joining, and I appreciate you. And I appreciate getting your week started with me and your Monday morning started with me. And I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And hope you're excited about your day, that you're feeling good, that you got a great night's sleep, because, again, sleep's so important. I was drinking the Starbucks Sumatra, but it's empty. Well, thank you so much. And you all have a great Monday as well. And again, thank you so much for joining. And again, I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful weekend and you have a great Monday and you tune in tomorrow with me. And if you have never watched me before, you subscribe to my videos. It's just a guy talking about life and sharing some experiences and sharing some ups and downs and sharing a few minutes over a cup of coffee. And I like that. So, I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you're feeling good. I hope you're loving yourself. I hope you're forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.